The girl placed the dough made with spring water into a bamboo basket. Then she tossed the basket into the water, preparing to fish. The vice general saw this and thought it was a joke. He was sure the girl was just playing around. Just as he spoke, the girl suddenly shouted that a fish had taken the bait. She was too weak to pull it in, so she hurriedly called the vice general to help with the rope. The vice general still didn't believe her, but to his surprise, the girl was almost dragged into the water by the fish. Just then, the general returned. He jumped into the water and pulled her out. The vice general quickly grabbed the bamboo basket. Several large crushing carp fell into the basin. It was then that the vice general realized what the girl said was actually true. It turned out she wasn't from ancient times, but a super rich woman who had traveled from the modern world. She brought with her a spring space. When she first arrived, an old woman forced her mother to sign a divorce agreement. After signing, the mother and daughter were kicked out. The girl suggested they move to the village. Her mother thought it was a good idea. The girl felt exhausted. Taking advantage of the fact that no one was around, she used the spring water to replenish her strength. Then, with the master key, she snuck into her scummy father's warehouse. She was going to make him pay. She took all the food in the warehouse into the space. Then, she went to the cloth warehouse and took all the cloth too. Unhurriedly, she tucked away the divorce agreement. Her scummy father, having become a top scholar, married the daughter of a high-ranking official in the capital, then abandoned the mother and daughter. Seeing how haggard her mother was, the girl decided to make her mother young again. She used the spring water to create a face mask for her mother. 3 months later, the girl began to worry about her mother's safety. She decided to find a good man who could protect her mother. One day, while playing in the yard, she saw a group of people passing by. She boldly ran out and greeted them. When she learned they were thirsty, she felt relieved. She asked if they were good people and said only good people could come into her house. The leading general thought the girl was so adorable and liked her very much. He told everyone to wait outside the yard. Then he carried the girl inside. The two looked into each other's eyes and were both deeply attracted to one another. The general introduced himself, saying he was ordered to repair the dam. He was curious why the girl's mother, so young and beautiful, was abandoned by her husband. The girl told him everything that had happened. The general was enraged upon hearing this. He criticized the girl's father for not deserving to be a top scholar. Seeing his anger, and knowing he was a top-ranking general, the girl proposed that the general become her father. Her mother was embarrassed and quickly explained that her daughter was just speaking nonsense, and asked the general not to take offense. But the general was deeply moved. He wasn't angry. Instead, he felt in a good mood, and immediately took the girl to ride a horse. Her mother hurried to prepare the meal. Soon, her mother brought the food to the table. The girl asked the general to join them for the meal. She said in a sad tone that her scummy father never cared about them. The general, hearing this, angrily scolded the scummy father and agreed to the girl's request to create an opportunity for the general and her mother. The girl intentionally tore the general's cloak and asked her mother to help mend it. Her mother was puzzled by the girl's actions, but had no choice but to agree. The general felt a bit embarrassed about this. He mentioned that he would be going to the back mountain to repair the dam for several months, and was worried it might disturb them. Her mother responded that the food in the back mountain hadn't been collected yet, and there was no room to make space. When she told the general that the back mountain was their land, the general predicted heavy rain within 3 days, and said they must finish collecting the food quickly. Her mother became even more worried.